Welcome back to the show, folks. We are back with another Monday morning drive time. We're going to be talking about the latest football news and transfers, all that kind of good stuff. But if you could be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and of course drop a like on the video. We were looking at the analytics over the weekend, and believe it or not, over 45% of you who watch the content aren't even subscribers. What's going on there, folks? Shape up, fix up. Come on, don't be hiding in the background. Come to the forefront. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get that support going. We want to hit 1,000 subscribers before the season starts. We've got less than 4 weeks. Let's push through this last 100 or so subscribers and get it done. Let's not be moonlighting in the background and enjoying the content but not showing the support. So let's get into this. Hope you're all having a fabulous start to the week. Before we start, a bit of housekeeping. We're going to talk about what's coming up this week. Of course, this morning we have the Monday morning drive to kick off the week, reviewing all the news coming out from the weekend and the fallout and the transfers and all that kind of stuff. Tonight at 8 o'clock, do not miss this show. We are going to delve deep into the situation at Saudi Arabia. We're going to be coming at it from a football point of view. We're going to be looking at the political situation, the wealth, the money, the knock-on effect, all that kind of stuff. What it means to the kid, the 6-year-old this morning who's out in this beautiful sun, kicking a ball against a wall with dreams of scoring in front of the Stretford End or the Cop or whatever your team is, whatever team he follows. What's the effect of that? What's going to happen with football and all that kind of stuff from a political and geographical point of view and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to try and project ourselves 5 or 10 years into the future and see what does this mean for football in the future. So do not miss that show. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and we'd love to have you in the chat, or if any of you want to come on and give your views and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to come on. It's going to be a great show. I've done a lot of work on this one over the weekend, so it's well worth tuning in for. Tomorrow night at 7, I'm going to be on Doug's channel. We're going to be previewing the Liverpool game coming up, I think on Saturday it is, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll check that out for you. We're going to be playing German team over there, so we're going to be previewing that. I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot about transfers, especially about our midfield, how we feel about all that good stuff, and also it'll be my first time on Doug's channel. Really looking forward to it. The man is knocking it out of the park, so get over there to Doug's channel and hit that subscribe and bell notification button as well. Support all these channels that we're appearing on at the moment. Also tomorrow night we're going to be doing a review of Dark Side of the Ring, the Adrian Adonis episode, so we'll get that pushed out there for you as well. I like to give these things about a week to settle, to digest it and see where it comes from. But again, nothing new in this one. A very similar story and team running through the season of Dark Side of the Ring, so check that out as well. Thursday I think I'm going to be doing a show with Darren. It's our yearly kind of show where we review all the new Premier League kits and we give our thoughts on the good, the bad and the ugly in those kits. That's going to be coming at you Thursday. Then Friday, I'm not sure whether it's a live show or not, or recording, but I'm going to be on Warren's Team Talk. He's doing interviews at the moment with football fans, talking about their football fandom and their childhood and how it all began and little stories and stuff like that. Not sure whether it's live or it's a recording. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a fantastic show. When me and Warren are on your screens, it's always good banter and good chat. We've a good chemistry between the two of us and all. So go check out Warren's Team Talk as well and give that man your support as we push towards the start of the season. So that'll be Friday. That's most of the week tied down. I don't know if anything else happens. Of course, you'll get your usual daily dose of shorts and all that kind of stuff as well. So right, let's get into this news. Harry Maguire stripped of the captaincy over the weekend after having a meeting with Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag laid out his plans, wants the captaincy off him to finally make that decision. To me, that's a decision that probably should have been made when Eric Ten Hag came in first. He shouldn't have let it roll on for the last year and stuff like that. He should have just made that decision last year. But the decision is made now. So the question for you United fans out there, who do you want as captain? I mean, the obvious one is Bruno, of course, and I think that's the way it will go. But the big question is, who's going to be the vice captain? Who do you think will go in there as vice captain? Will it be, Casemiro? Could it be Varane? Will it be Marcus Rashford? So many choices there for a vice captaincy and stuff like that. So let us know your thoughts on that. Also, we're hearing that the coffers have been boosted. That apparently, and this ties in with what we're going to talk about, the takeover as well. The coffers have been boosted by apparently 50 million, from 120 up to 170 apparently, by the Glazers. So is this an indication of what's going on in the takeover? If we touch on that for a minute, apparently news coming out over the weekend that there has been literally no communication by all parties over the last 4 to 5 weeks. Things have gone very quiet in this takeover situation. So what does that mean, folks? Is it a backtracking by the Glazers? Is that why they're pumping in the other 50 million into the transfer coffers? Me thinking, if they were leaving, why would they pump in an extra 50 million into the transfer coffers? Doesn't seem to add up and doesn't seem to make sense. So let us know your thoughts. Are the Glazers staying or are they going? Is it going to Qatar? Is it going to some gym? Who knows what's happening there at the moment. We also got news yesterday evening as well. Fabrizio Romano, here we go, on Onana to Man United. The goalkeeper that they've been chasing. They're going to get that boy. It looks like it'll be confirmed today. He'll probably fly in for a medical, and midweek or whatever it is, you'll get the confirmation and the jersey and all that kind of stuff. This is a really important signing for Man United. As you know, David De Gea leaving the building left a kind of a bad taste in people's mouths last week, in terms of how the boy was shipped out and stuff like that after 11 or 12 years at the club. But you have to embrace change, don't you? And obviously he's not the goalkeeper that Erik ten Hag wanted. We know Erik wants to be playing out from the back and all that kind of stuff. Onana has looked electric last season. He was by far probably the best goalkeeper, if not one of them, in the Champions League last year. I think he only missed out on one clean sheet to equal the record of 9 or something like that. But his vision for picking a pass and finding a player coming out from the back is huge for Man United. It will be huge as well. So I think he'll be a huge success at Man United. And you've often seen it even with my own team, Liverpool. When you bring in a new keeper, and a real confident keeper, and a keeper that understands what you want to do, can make a huge difference. Remember when we brought in Van Dijk and we brought in Alisson, the difference it made to the team and stuff like that. So yeah, Onana could have that same effect at Man United, no doubt about it. And it'll be interesting to see what else they do. What happens now with Harry Maguire getting stripped of the captaincy. I think his statement yesterday was quite dignified. A lot of people saying, oh, but did he write it or did someone else write it and all that kind of thing. It doesn't matter if it's going out on his social medias. He's responsible for it. I think it was quite a dignified statement. I think he knew it was coming. And could this signal his potential leaving of the club now? We know West Ham are interested in signing him, which is quite a weird dynamic as well, that West Ham would be bringing in him as a central defender after losing Rice in the midfield. That's a double-edged sword really, isn't it, for West Ham? So let me know your thinking on that. United fans will be ecstatic to hear he's going out the door. I think it's a very difficult situation for Harry Maguire at the moment. He's 4th or 5th choice in defence there at the moment. You know, his England position and all that kind of stuff. A lot of really good talent coming through now in defence for England. Could miss out on his spot and stuff like that. We know Southgate favours him a lot, and in fairness, he hasn't let Southgate down too much when he has played for England. But what now for Harry Maguire? Links to West Ham. Will West Ham use some of that Declan Rice money to get him out of the building? And what will the deal look like? Is the deal 20-30 million? Will United have to bump up some of that in terms of his wages and the deterioration of his wages and all that kind of thing? Remains to be seen, but we'll keep a close eye on it anyway. Fabinho looks like he's heading off to Saudi. Interesting times for Liverpool at the moment. Uproar over the weekend with Henderson and Fabinho and Thiago all being linked with moves away. Liverpool fans getting very anxious about this, but this is kind of what we wanted, but just not in a condensed kind of way. Listen, these were the 3 guys last season that had most of the talk in relation to Liverpool fans, and I know in my own match reactions and previews and all, it was difficult to talk through them. While Thiago is such a super player and stuff like that, availability is absolutely key. We know Fabinho dropped off the cliff last season as well, looked really, really leggy and laggy on the pitch. There was talk this season about if you put the right bodies around him and all that. I don't like to hear that. We don't want any passengers, we don't want to be carrying anyone, and he wouldn't want it that way either. Henderson looked like he had his move to Saudi Arabia as well. Fabinho's was 40 million. Henderson, we're kind of looking for around the 20 million. My guess is we'd settle around the 12 to 15 mark, but we do want money for him. They seem to think he was going to go on a free. Why would we let our captain go on a free? He was also still involved at international level as well. but obviously getting to the tail end of his career now with just a number of years left. I think this will be a great move for Jordan Henderson. He's obviously gone on pre-season training to Germany. Fabinho was excluded to get that deal done. A lot of talk at the moment about the payment terms and all that kind of stuff, and you know how it's all going to be ironed out and all, but listen, we're not going to be listening to Saudi Arabia clubs coming to us cap in hand talking about what they have available and all that. That doesn't wash with us. Pony up the money, get the job done. We know the millions and the billions that you're throwing around and washing around. We know what your goal is. We're going to be talking about it tonight on that show that I mentioned earlier. So don't be coming to us with the poor mouth and all that. You don't have this, that and the other and all that. Just ain't going to wash with us. Simon Thomas has been appointed at Sky Sports. He's going to be the new host of Soccer Saturday, stepping into the breach for Jeff Stelling. We also know Mike Dean, who retired from the PGMOL there the other day, is now going to be also signed up as the referee, giving technical analysis going forward on the show as well. So it's going to be a really, really interesting time going forward. Huge changes coming on Sky Sports and what you're used to seeing and viewing and stuff like that. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that goes. Simon Thomas moving in as the host, Mike Dean coming in as the technical analysis from a refereeing point of view and all and stuff like that. So let's see how that goes. We'll look forward to it. We're also hearing as well, obviously Laura Woods had exited the building at TalkSport. Such a loss. She always brightened up our mornings. But the talk is that Jeff Stelling, no less, is going to be stepping into that breach. He's going to be joining the TalkSport crew to do that morning show. That's going to be very interesting. Jeff Stelling getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do sports radio. Going to be very, very interesting. That man's normally a lunchtime man and stuff like that, so that's going to be a huge change for him, but that'll be interesting. But absolutely fabulous to have Jeff Stelling back on our screens and stuff like that. He would have been a huge loss if he was just disappeared into the ether and stuff like that, you know. We have to talk about Inter Miami, and again this will come up as a topic tonight in Saudi Arabia, because we obviously have views in relation to the MLS and what's going to happen there with this sort of emerging situation at Saudi Arabia. But they unveiled yesterday, I think it was, Lionel Messi, the number 10 for Inter Miami, and also Sergio Busquets. Both were unveiled yesterday. Super unveiling, really, really cool. And massive steps for the MLS as well. This is a kind of a signature situation here in terms of what we're going to talk about tonight, so it kind of fits the narrative as well. But the two boys unveiled for Inter Miami with MLS director there and president and all, talking about how big it was, and it's absolutely massive to have moved Lionel Messi to Inter Miami when there was a massive deal on the table from Saudi Arabia. Is a huge coup for the MLS. And Sergio Busquets going in there as well. What a fabulous midfielder he has. What a career he's had at Barcelona. So both boys moving into Inter Miami. David Beckham looked like the cat that got the cream last night and stuff like that as well. So absolutely fabulous. Great move for them. We also have to talk about, of course, what else is there at the moment. We need to talk about Ashley Young going to Everton, confirmed there over the weekend and stuff like that. Everton fans, what do you make of those moves at the moment? Kind of a very interesting move for Everton. Very low key what they're doing at the moment, especially on the back of the struggles of last season, where they really, really struggled, and now it looks like it's very much more mediocre coming in the door. So Everton fans, what you're thinking on that at the moment? Interesting moves. Liverpool obviously with Fabinho exiting the building. What do you think there as well? We wanted to talk about the DM situation. What's going to happen there? Who's coming in? Is it Lavia? Is it talk of links with Calvin Phillips? I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want any of that. That Calvin Phillips links to me sort of similar to how I felt about Mason Mount. I don't want Calvin Phillips in the door at all, you know what I mean? But let us know as well, who do you want in there? Lavia obviously looks like he's going to be the target. But we were hearing yesterday, and I linked Liverpool into it yesterday, that potentially Palhinha off Fulham, who has had a fantastic season. What a destroyer that guy is. He might be available. The talk was that they wanted like 80 million or something stupid for him. But the talk is he might be available for 40 million. And we also know there's a little bit of upheaval there at the moment, because obviously Marco Silva is stalling on signing a new contract. So is he keeping his options open? Is there another offer there in the wings for him? What's that status of Fulham? And if you don't have a manager in there, a manager who's looking elsewhere, can you take your eye off the kind of squad and all the other stuff that needs to be done? So we could be available potentially for about 40 to 50 million. If that's the case, I think he is the guy I would go for. Ideally, everyone would like Caicedo, but I think Caicedo's too far down the Chelsea rabbit hole to be dragged back out of it by the legs on a potential move to Liverpool. The other thing I'd say with Liverpool as well, it looks like they are going to have to settle on some sort of payment terms in relation to Fabinho and potentially Jordan Henderson. So it's not like that money is dropping directly into their lap. So does that change it? Brighton still holding firm, and also confirming the other day they're expecting Caicedo to be on the plane for pre-season as well. I think they're leaving today, it is, or tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Is he going to be left behind like Fabinho and given an opportunity to talk to Chelsea or tie down a deal, or could he be going elsewhere? Let's see. But obviously Caicedo's the guy that most teams would want. I think he'd be top of the list. It's just the price is a barrier for some, not for Chelsea. Obviously they've been emptying the tank and generating cash there to make available from Mauricio Pochettino. But let us know your thoughts on that. Liverpool fans especially, who do you want in there as a DM? Gonna have to get in someone serious, you know. Is it okay? Also, there was talk as well, that Thiago might go into that role. He ain't got the physicality for that. There's no way he's going to stand up that role. They were talking about him and Trent and that kind of pivot as a two and stuff like that, you know. Let me know your thoughts on that. How do you feel about that? I get shivers when I hear of Thiago as a DM. It's really worrying for me because I know he hasn't got the physicality to stand up to it and all, you know. So really, really difficult one to try and iron out. But let us know your thoughts. I think Lavia will be the one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Thiago and Trent, and then we had our three midfielders sitting in front or whatever it is. It's just going to be, it's a lot of options there, a lot of stuff to be ironed out. As I said in pre-season, we've seen some pictures coming out. The boys are going around on their usual mountain bike cycles and all this kind of thing and stuff like that. But I looked at some of the facials the other day on the boys and stuff like that. They look like they're fairly serious about their work. Wasn't a huge amount of smiley faces, quite a seriousness about what they want to do. They know how disappointing last season was, and they're all about the business now. With less than 4 weeks to go to the start of the season, we're really getting into the meat and gravy now of this pre-season, even though it just started. But serious work to be done. Bayern Munich, final bit of news. Bayern Munich are confident of landing Harry Kane. I just don't see it. I don't know what you think about it, folks. Even with the offer, we know they met with Daniel Levy last week in London. Wonder what came out of those talks. But Ange Postecoglou, he's convinced Harry Kane might hang around, he might stay and stuff like that. He's planning for life with Harry Kane, not without him. I just don't see him going to Bayern Munich. I don't see that being the move. So how do you feel about this? Is he going to hang around? Is he going to sign that big new contract that was offered to him at Spurs? Could someone come in late in the window and take him? Bayern Munich talk of PSG. Obviously with them emptying the tank up front, is the Kane Mbappe situation all intrinsically linked? And the talk is, of course, if Mbappe goes there, would Liverpool go in for too many? Would he be surplus to requirements in order of generating money to fund part of the Mbappe deal? So lots of moving linked parts at the moment, folks. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know as well what your team is doing. If we haven't spoke about your team today, or your team's been pretty quiet. There's a lot of teams in the Premier League at the moment really, really quiet in the window, not doing a whole lot of business, staying under the radar. Quite an inflated situation at the moment in the market. Lots of money slushing around there, and lots of talk and all that kind of stuff. So as always, folks, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Come on, push us on. Over 45% of you not even subscribed and viewing the content. Come on, where's the support? We'll talk to you again real soon.